Yeah, I love watching your content, man.
Thanks, man. You don't think I'm a Jeremy Fragrance wannabe then?
That guy's crazy, man.
You guys love to tag me in TikToks for me to respond to certain videos about fragrances. About a year ago, one of you tagged me in this video where this guy was really going heavy on his sprays and going crazy and saying that was the correct way to apply a fragrance. So understandably, I responded in my wife beater, not expecting the video to get over 1 million views, showing you guys the official way to apply a fragrance according to School of Scent. Now, that guy then later commented on that video saying it was a joke, and this obviously led to our friendship forming. I actually found out later on that that was Kazi, the CEO of Sunnamusk, a brand I had previously collaborated with prior to that video. So obviously we hit each other up on Instagram after that TikTok roast, and we ended up becoming good friends, and I decided to recently go to their office. They were very kind to invite me to do an interesting type of video, a Q&A, where I find out about Sunnamusk's story. They're a very big brand in the UK. If you guys know them, if you've heard of them, this would be a really interesting video for you if you live in the UK. If not, this is a video that I want to introduce to the channel to help people see how the fragrance industry works, how a fragrance brand is made and comes up in the game. So this video is going to be split up into 3 parts. The first section is going to be me talking to Kazi, asking general questions that I've created for us to know the story of Sunnamusk and how a fragrance brand is made. The second part will then be a mixture of him blind testing some of my favorite fragrances. So these are fragrances that I think are underrated and deserve more love, as well as sections of Kazi answering questions that I offered you guys to ask on Instagram for those of you who want to know more about the fragrance industry. I hope you guys enjoy this. Let us know what you think of it. It's a very new type of concept for this channel, having a long Q&A video. It's sort of like a podcast format type of conversation we have here. It's very relaxed. It's got a lot of length to it. It is a very interesting and fascinating topic, knowing the ins and outs of the industry. So make sure to check out all of it, guys. Get yourself a nice hot drink, sit down, relax, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies and mainly gentlemen of School of Scent. I am here today with Kazi, the CEO of Sunnamusk, one of the largest brands in the fragrance industry right now in the UK. I remember seeing you guys years ago when I was a university student, and I've just seen you guys continuously grow. Can you tell us a bit about yourself and about Sunnamusk?
Yeah, man. Thank you. Pleasure for being on here, being on your platform, School of Scent. I've been watching your content for a while as well.
For real?
Yeah.
What do you think of it? Just tell me.
Yeah, no. I think it's great. It's amazing. You have a really natural sort of reviewing style, and your reactions are really good. So yeah, I love watching your content, man.
Thanks, man. You don't think I'm a Jeremy Fragrance wannabe then?
That guy's crazy, man.
I wish I could be.
But yeah, obviously, as my name is Kazi. I'm one of the co-founders and CEO of Sunnamusk. I've been basically pretty much in the family business and in fragrance my whole life since I was a baby.
For real.
And yeah, I started off very young in the business. Yeah, I've watched the company grow from literally £600. We started off with £600 investment. 5 brothers put together £600, brought some fragrances over from Egypt. My brother had a collection of his own curated, sort of a really nice collection of fragrances. And he had them in his house, and he always said, we should start a fragrance brand because I've got, he loves fragrances, and we all do, but he's a bit more passionate than us in fragrance.
Okay. You said before you were also in the fragrance industry when you were a baby. So I because I want to make sure I don't forget that. Like, what do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is, like, from a very young age, I've always been interested in fragrance, and when we started Sunnamusk back in 2009, I must have been 14, 15,
Oh,
so,
for real?
So that's what I mean by, I've been in since I became an adult, basically. Before that,
you're a proper entrepreneur then, like 14, 15,
yeah,
hustling.
Exactly, yeah, hustling on the market, still on the streets with my brother, Shafiq. We used to go out and we used to, just set up the boot stall anywhere and everywhere, man. Wherever we could find people, we just set it up and we just be like, handing out testers, and we were really passionate about it, and that's what made all the difference, I think, because there was a lot of people that were doing similar things to us, but we really loved the whole brand and the fragrances we were selling, and we were really passionate about it. Yeah, no, we used to literally go up to market stalls, open stalls. We used to go to events, and we used to have this really cool setup in our booth. So we used to just literally flip the boot open. Everything used to be there. We used to sort of display it in the nicest way possible that we can, and we just literally start selling it. And one of the, just behind Whitechapel Road is one of the first events that we sort of attended, and it was lovely. It was, to really watch the brand come from that first purchase in that in that moment in 2009 to where we are now. I think that's
incredible.
That's
You bootstrapped it all essentially to this. Now it's like a multi-million
yes
dollar thing. Do you know
pounds, not dollars?
Apologies. I forgot which country we were in for a second there. So 2 questions that I have for myself is, how did you market the things, and when did you know you had potential? Because you're clearly a natural born hustler. Why didn't you just say, you know what, we let's leave Sunnamusk now, just go sell lawn mowers or whatever? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think when we started doing stores in Whitechapel Market.
Okay. So you went from cars selling
cars
to
we went from
stores.
like doing kind of part-time car boot sales to occasional events to then when my brother lost his job in London City Airport in 2008. He was available full-time free, so we wanted to take the business more seriously, and that's when we started doing full-time market stores in Whitechapel Market, which is not far from here at all. And that's when we invested from a marketing point of view. We invested in, even though we were going to be selling into a market, we invested into a proper canopy, a branded canopy with our website and with what we do with our logo in it, which I think cost about £700-800 at the time, which was a lot of money.
Yeah, at the time as well, isn't it? Yeah.
So, but we really believed in the whole branding and marketing element. So we got that branded canopy we set up in the market stores. You wouldn't believe it, but we actually had name badges and uniforms on a market store. I mean, no one did that at the time. And other market store operators, they would be like, what are you guys doing? Like, have you guys been sent by a company, or like, where'd you guys come from? But we were like, no, we're just really passionate about what we do.
Yeah, Whitechapel stores.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't see that at all. If people haven't been there, it's just like people shouting.
Yeah,
exactly.
But I think that's where we actually truly realized the potential of the brand, because we were paying like in rent £20 a day at the time. We didn't expect to make that much.
We were making a good value for money.
Good value for money. But we were making £500-600 a day from there.
Fantastic.
And we were like, wow, like people really appreciate the concept that we had and what we were doing. And there was like sometimes queues of people trying to buy from our stall.
And what was the concept? So what is Sunnamusk's unique?
So we are very unique in what we do. So we describe ourselves as a British fragrance house that's inspired by the Middle East. Okay. So a lot of the Middle Eastern culture, like oud, musks, and amber, a lot of that is within our fragrance. And obviously within Middle Eastern culture, wearing fragrance is a big part of their life. They love to use fragrance a lot. So we wanted to bring that element and that culture and sort of add our own British touch, British element to it. Nice. But more importantly, we actually focus on a lot of the oil-based fragrances as well, which contain no alcohol. Yeah. So no one was kind of doing that before us, and we kind of brought that into the market, which really made us stand out. And everyone that wears an oil-based fragrance, they know it lasts a very long time.
You guys were ahead of your time, essentially.
Absolutely. I think we saw that sort of gap in the market. Your Tom Fords, your mainstream brands, everyone's kind of putting oud inside their fragrances nowadays. And we just happen to be there and specializing within that sector.
From that point on, you guys saw, okay, this is a good business.
Yeah. So when we saw
grow from there?
When we saw the queues in Whitechapel Market, we were like, wow, this is something that has true potential. And so in the winter it got really cold in Whitechapel Market.
Of course.
And we were like, wow. We even had the oils, the oil fragrances crystallizing because of how cold it was. So we're like, we need to find somewhere a little bit warmer, So
you went to the Caribbean.
Yeah. I wish. No, but we found like a shopping centre in Ilford called the Mall Exchange. and we
Okay.
moved our business in there. So it was within a shopping centre. It was warm. You could actually talk to customers in a nice environment, and that was a big move for us because it was right before Christmas that year, and again, from a business point of view, it was a lot of rent. We went from paying £20 a day to £600 a week, which was a lot, So, but we thought, what's the worst case that could happen? We go in there and we might break even, we might not, we'll see what happens. We were quite courageous and ambitious in that way. We just wanted to try things. But again, it was very successful. People loved the fragrance. And I think the main thing comes back to the product. Because we had a really good product, people liked the product, people liked the smells and how long they lasted. That's what got us to where we are today. Is because wherever we went, doesn't matter if we didn't have the best presentation or the best looking stand or whatever else it might be. The fact that we were sort of nice to people, the customer service was there, and the fragrances ultimately were really quality. And I think that's what made all the difference.
So how did you then proceed to market and grow from there?
Yeah, so from that moment onwards, I think in the initial years it was a lot of guerrilla marketing. Like I'm talking about sampling on the streets, talking to people, that kind of thing, bringing people over. We had these really cool gimmicks that we used to do, like wearing mascots of the bottle of Middle Eastern camels, things like that. We used to try and create the most curiosity and attention in the most cost-effective way. So it was things like that we had to be really creative because we had no money. We had to think of ways that you spend the least money but get the most out of it. And I think in the initial years, those are the kind of things that we had to do, and they were really successful. And people loved that sort of stuff. And from that point onwards, we went on a very aggressive sort of expansion plan. And in the recent 3-4 years, we've done quite a bit. And I think we've adapted quite a lot in terms of our social, our marketing, and with that came social media. Social media era really sort of Instagram and TikTok really came around in those years. And I think that really helped us as well because the use of Instagram influencers came about. More recently, obviously TikTok came about, but it's that whole organic social media marketing element that came into play, and I think that was really effective because social media is really powerful and you can reach a lot of people. So we started utilizing things like influencer collaborations, working with YouTubers, people like yourselves.
If you had to give 3 tips only to someone who's aspiring to be a successful perfume brand specifically, what would you tell people?
I would say focus on the product, number one. Ensure the fragrances are actually very good quality, and the bottle. I mean, these days people want a lot. They want the bottle, they want the fragrance, they want the packaging. So all of those elements, just ensure that they are to the highest quality possible. The second thing I would say is try and find a unique selling point. Try and find something that's a little bit different to what you're doing. Because let's be honest, there's thousands of companies selling fragrances, and everyone wants to sell fragrances. So if you want to stand out, you've got to do something a little bit different. We took the sort of British, Middle Eastern element and the angle. And the third one will be branding and marketing. I mean, I think that's very important. Focus on the brand, focus on creating a brand lifestyle experience where when people wear your fragrance or associate themselves to your products or to your brand, they feel a certain way. Branding is very, very important.
So what is the difference between good marketing and good branding? Some people might not know.
So good branding is things like having a very clean logo, having clean sort of branding and other things like bags, boxes, packaging, bottles. All of those elements need to be really good quality, and especially nowadays, you've got to think about things like sustainability and where are the products made from, all those sort of things that you need to be mindful of. So I think branding is more on the actual what the brand looks like, but marketing is how do you market that to your customers, and how do you advertise and get that message across to your customers about your products.
So an analogy would be that the branding is sort of like the parcel, nice pretty gift, but then the marketing is the delivery person, the courier, actually putting it out.
Good example.
Thanks, man.
You're a marketer yourself. I'm sure you know a lot about this.
That was actually impromptu. I swear, guys, that was actually on the spot. I'm kind of impressed with myself. No, I'm kidding. What other tough moments? Because a lot of people might be interested to start a brand, but they don't appreciate the difficulties they're going to run into in business. What do you think are the toughest moments?
So I think, there's been a few challenges, including obviously the financial element, the cash flow, but also finding good locations to put your brand in. That can be very difficult. Working with people like, Westfield, getting into a very high-end shopping centre like that.
How do you get in somewhere like Westfield? So if people don't know, Westfield's like one of the biggest shopping centres in the UK, and that's a very big name to get into. How did you guys get into Westfield?
We email them. You go on the website, you find the person that does the leasing stuff, and you just simply email them your concept. A lot of the time, if you have a compelling enough story or something different, obviously if you're selling something else that's available within shopping centres, chances are they might not even respond to you. But if you have something a little bit different, they're always looking for something unique and something to add value to the centre. So when we approached them and we said, look, this is our concept, this is our brand, they automatically saw it and said, hold on a minute, no one else is doing that, so this is interesting. Although we were a very small startup at the time, we were still in doing almost a market store thing. They came to us and they visited us. They took the time out because it piqued their interest, the concept that we were doing. And although we were nowhere near ready to be in a place like Westfield, they liked what we were doing. They liked the passion that we had. They liked the enthusiasm and just the concept that we had and how we were doing things. So we were like, you know what? Although you're not ready to be in Westfield, we're going to give you the opportunity to grow yourself and to have that chance. And we took that opportunity. We jumped at the opportunity. We didn't have the money, the finance, or anything. But I truly believe that if you have a real unique concept that you've done your research, it's something unique and your product is good, and you're confident in yourself to do what you have to do, then just go for it. One thing I've learned is you can't always be perfect. Sometimes you have to just sort of go with what you have and then sort of work on that later and improve yourself as you go along, because truth is, if you start waiting just to be perfect, you might never start. And sometimes you just got to make that first move and get out there and, start gaining experience, start talking to people, start selling, you get the money. And then, over time, you get experience, you improve the brand, you get better people. And that's just the way it goes.
Fantastic. There's a lot of good tips right there.
Yeah, man. That's like, giving you all the everything I've learned in the last, 12 years.
Everyone watching this should be getting charged like thousands of pounds for a business course, man. Give this stuff for free.
Yeah,
man.
you know what, man? I love being able to help others. A lot of people message me on Instagram. They ask me, how do I go about, starting a brand? I always try and help if I can.
So would you be happy if people watching this to DM you?
100%, man.
Yeah,
DM me if you have any questions,
We'll have your Instagram alias on the screen.
Yeah.
There's editing magic happening.
Editing magic right now. You're really good at editing, by the way. Yeah.
Well, thanks, man. Yeah, it's all me. It's not.
How did we meet, by the way? That's a good question.
How do I do what?
How did we meet?
How did we meet? Oh yeah, that's a really good one. I should have said at the beginning of the video. If anyone knows, so on TikTok, people tag me in these videos for me to react and give them my 2 cents, my 2 pennies. And I saw you I'd worked with you guys before, other collaborations, and but I didn't know you were the CEO. So someone tagged me in your videos, I think 20, 30 tags. Those people tagging me. And it was just you going crazy, spraying yourself with 100 sprays.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to roast this guy. I was like, this guy is not spraying correctly. People have seen those videos, and I didn't know I expected it to go so viral. I had
my video got 1 million views. How many did yours?
Yeah, so yours got 1 million views, mine got 1 million views as well.
Wow,
people love just to watch people spray fragrances.
Yeah, Do you know what it is? I'll be honest, I was sitting in my office one day and the Golden Dust just came out that time. I had that amazing launch and I thought, I want to make a TikTok video, but I want to make it a bit controversial, where almost I'm trolling people and just see what the reaction is. Because obviously I know a quality fragrance, how you apply it, you shouldn't need to apply a lot. But I thought if I go crazy on camera, people are either going to be like, this guy's funny or this guy's crazy, he's just spraying loads. And a lot of people are making jokes like, you're just telling us to spray like this, so we finish the bottles quicker and we buy another bottle quicker. I'm like, maybe that was part of my thinking, maybe it was just a strategy.
Hey, man,
but and then I saw your video and you're just like,
what you just saw there, ignore it. Yeah.
That is not how you apply fragrance.
So for people who don't know, you actually do have a bespoke service in Westfield, White City, which for people who don't know what that term means, basically means what? You
basically are able to sit with a perfumer and create your own bespoke fragrance that's completely signature to you.
So like custom-made fragrance you want to
no one else will smell like that. You sit there with the perfumer for 1 hour and go through all the different notes that you like, and then create a fragrance based on what you like. And you also get your bottle engraved with your name or whatever if you want to give it as a gift.
Fantastic.
So it's an amazing service that we launched just for people that want to create a really unique scent.
Would you like me to create a video on it? Should we do that?
That would be amazing, man. That would be an honor. Like I'd love.
How many likes in this video for that to happen?
1,000?
1,000. Let's say 1,500.
1,500. Yeah. And we're making it happen.
All right, there we are. And we'll do it. So you guys comment down below if you want to see that video happen. Comment like 1 of 3. Either say top, mid, or base in your comment, and then say what you want in that part of the fragrance. And whichever comments gets the most likes. So those 3 comments with the most amount of likes for the top, mid, and base, we will create that fragrance. So we'll create some madness, some fragrance,
some sauce, some fire,
some next level fragrance based on YouTube. So we'll create a fragrance based on YouTube comments, a custom-made YouTube comments fragrance. Yeah.
And if it's really nice, maybe we could even launch it. Never know.
Oh my god, guys, you keep creating. This is free marketing, free fragrance. Okay, fantastic. Okay, let's get you smelling some fragrances, Kazi. You don't know what this is. I've already sprayed this paper strip. You don't know what it is. That's all. I haven't told you anything about these fragrances.
I'm excited.
All I want is just your opinion.
All right, let's do it.
Your initial reaction. It was fresh.
It's got a really fresh. It's actually a really nice fragrance, by the way. I love it.
What would you give it out of 10?
It's so fresh. It reminds me of something like when you come out of a shower, you'd wear it, and you're just sort of chilling, lounging, relaxing, and it's really beautiful. I would rate this strong 7, man.
I was honestly expecting a big higher number. Yeah. Your rating is quite different to other people then, I think. Yeah. Some people are like that. They're like, this is like one of the best fragrances ever. Yeah. You give it like a 6 or something like that.
What? Other people?
Yeah, no, don't adjust your rating system.
Okay.
7, okay.
Yeah. No, the reason, I'll explain why I gave it a 7, okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
So the reason why I gave it a 7 is because my personal preference is more woody and ambery scents. So naturally, I am more inclined towards woody and ambery scents.
Let's do the Instagram questions. Yeah?
Okay, yeah.
19.noi asks, why are fragrances reformulated? A lot of people, so you're answering on behalf of the perfume industry here, no pressure. A lot of people say, they want to water fragrances down to make more money. What do you think is the main reason?
Nah, I don't think it's that at all. I mean, personally, we would never reformulate a fragrance because we understand people will notice a difference. So there's no point knowing your customers. I think the main reason why brands reformulate is for IFRA regulations, because they are absolutely so stringent and so strict with allergens.
They're brutal, aren't they?
They are very brutal. I mean, certain fragrances don't have more than 5% dosage just because of what's inside it. So, a recent example is they took out Lyrio out of fragrances. A lot of our fragrances had Lyrio, so we had no options but to remove it because the fragrance houses and the perfumers are not allowed to formulate it with the ingredient inside it. So, sometimes you have no choice but to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Some people don't appreciate it. If one ingredient really gets banned hard, like oak most recently, some perfumes just either become completely weaker or they just have to get discontinued.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. So that's the thing. People need to appreciate like how brutal IFRA actually is.
IFRA can be really difficult.
Smell the second one here.
Oh wow! I can smell. Is it lavender?
There's some lavender in there. Yeah.
Wow, very different. Very different. It's beautiful. I think for a more mature person, this is beautiful. I would say this is a good 8, man.
Good 8. Oh, it's high quality. I like
high quality.
You don't know like anything about these fragrances. I hate some of these. You don't know.
I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
Me, I don't know. I've never smelled this fragrance before.
I was gonna say, how'd you make it? Yeah, beautiful lavender.
Nice. If you could start your fragrance brand again, what would you do differently?
Ooh, good question.
That's a good question by Celebrity Sense.
What would I do differently? So I think if I had to start Sunnamusk all over again, I think one of the things that I would do is bring on a perfumer a lot earlier. So Now we have an actual perfumer that we work with on a regular basis. He's our official perfumer, and the kind of input that he puts into the fragrances, I think that is amazing. And before we were just kind of like going on inspirations of other fragrances.
So you're making them yourself, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so we have the perfumer, we make that ourselves, and then our factory makes.
So before you had the perfumer, you literally just add the ingredients.
Oh no. So what we used to do is we sort of there's perfume houses that would sell you ready-made fragrances.
Oh, I see.
So that we would just sort of buy the fragrance and then sell it on. But I think having your own input, having your own unique sense is what makes all the difference. It's what makes you individual.
So get the professional help early
get the
on.
Professional
get the
help.
early on.
Whatever you do, get the professional help in every specialist sector.
Absolutely, it makes your life 100 times easier, doesn't it? Yeah,
definitely.
Okay, so number 3, you don't know, literally do not know anything about this.
I have no idea of anything. You just give me fragrance on a card.
I was giving you a random scented card.
This is interesting. It's got this really like sort of carbon smell. Does that even make sense?
Carbon smell, okay.
It's fresh, definitely fresh. I would say compared to the 3 that I've smelled so far, this would probably be my least favorite.
Okay.
Because, like I said, I prefer warmer scents.
Okay.
But I can see this lasting a very long time.
Out of 10, what would you give it?
I would give this a 7 as well.
7. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to ask you this question. How much does it cost to actually make perfume? What's the margin? People are like, we're getting. Yeah,
I'll answer this question because a lot of people think that there is a lot of margin in fragrance, and to be fair, from the outset, there is a lot of margin in fragrance.
Yeah.
In terms of the cost of the actual fragrance, it depends on what quality you go for, but ultimately, I think. Compared to other industries and other products, there is a decent margin within fragrance to make a healthy profit. But that's if you're running it independently. When you run it as a brand, you have brand ambassadors, you have overhead, you have expenses. Overall, when you work it out, it's like any other business. It's not anything specially profitable.
There's a lot of moving parts that people might not appreciate.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not. I wouldn't say it's more profitable as such.
Yeah, so people shouldn't go into it just to make money. It's just for passion. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. So let's see what we have here now.
It's a random bit of cards. You don't know what brand it is.
This is a bit up my street.
Yeah, I think Yeah.
Is it amber in it?
Yeah, probably.
Can smell that. Definitely a nice woody base. This is definitely up my street, man.
Yeah.
I love this.
You like your more oriental fragrance.
You know what? I like a fragrance that you wear it and you walk into an event or an occasion and people smell it. It's a statement.
That's a statement fragrance.
That's a statement fragrance. I love this. I would give this a strong 9.
9. Yeah. That's a strong rating. Damn. Okay. Ryan Mood 09 asks, what are your thoughts on the direction of the fragrance industry?
I think that...
Is it going downhill? Is it all going...
I don't think so.
I think it's going up though.
We did a bit of research recently, and actually every year on year, from the last 2 years, it's going up, and it's projected by 2026 that the market's going to be much bigger.
Okay.
So the fragrance industry, although everything went down
is that from women or from men buying more?
Both.
Everyone wants to buy more.
Yeah, everyone. Do you know what? Men used to take care of themselves less back in the day, but nowadays people are taking care of themselves a lot more. So I would say men are actually even buying a lot more as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's going to continue to grow because self-care, taking care of yourself, that's a big thing now.
What do you think about the quality and the actual perfumes themselves? Do you think the industry is less creative now, or is it being more profit-minded instead of art?
I don't think so. I think you've still got amazing brands like MFK, Xerjoff, and all of these guys that are creating amazing fragrances, And if you go to the niche sort of fragrance scene, within Harrods, for example, you'll find amazing fragrances. I don't think quality is an issue at all.
Okay, so the niche side is pushing the envelope, but what do you think about the designer side? And let's say
with designer, I feel like that is going down a little bit. I think that the hype around it is also going down. I think people much prefer quality now of a fragrance as opposed to just buying it because it's got a celebrity name on it.
Yeah.
All right, this is number 5.
This is number 5 now. It's a random bit of card. Who knows what's on it?
This has got tobacco vanilla.
I think it's Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford.
It smells very similar to it.
Thomas Fordigan.
Thomas Ford.
That's his full name, Thomas Fordigan.
It smells a bit like tobacco vanilla.
I can see why you say that.
I like it. It's nice. It's not my everyday scent, so I'd give it an 8.
8, yeah.
Yeah, so it's one of those fragrances I'd wear it occasionally if I want to smell a bit different.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that. How and where do you apply your fragrance? Well, no, we won't go into that. After
we might end up having a fight, you know. Well, I personally like to apply it on my heat spots. So under my neck,
Okay.
behind my ears,
Okay.
on my pulse spots. And then
So the 4 different pulse points, behind your ears,
yeah,
and then 2 in the neck, yeah.
And then I'll do it on my hands as well, yeah.
On your wrist, okay.
Yeah, on my wrist. And then occasionally I'll spray it over my clothes as well, just so that, you know, it lasts on the clothes as well.
Let's say average strength fragrance, how many sprays do you think someone should go for?
Average strength?
Yeah.
I would say 4.
4. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Fair play. We agreed. There
Yeah, we agree. Number 6, final one, let's go. This one smells like black seed oil.
What are your overall thoughts on that?
Nah, this is not me.
It's not you. No.
It doesn't have enough flavour to it. Yeah, I like a fragrance with that develops, that has a bit of character. You know, it sort of starts off with an amber. You know, it has a golden note or a woody note, and then it sort of develops. I feel like this will kind of stay
linear.
Quite linear.
That's in fact that is linear. That is a linear
Yeah.
fragrance. I would say that. Yeah. Fair play. Good notes. Good notes.
All right, I would say this is a 6.
6 out of 10.
Yeah.
How much do you think that is?
I can tell this is expensive fragrance though.
Okay, you can tell it's expensive.
Yeah, I can tell it's expensive, just because the notes smell expensive, but that doesn't mean if it's everyone likes it, you know. So
what if I told you that's David Beckham Instinct £10 right now?
It's definitely not. I would say this is a niche fragrance, somewhere in the sort of 150, 300, that range.
Okay, fair enough. Does the CEO himself make the idea of the perfume, or is it all done by a perfumer? What's basically that?
So
what's the thought process of making a fragrance? An initial idea to launch?
So I personally love perfumes and I love creating perfumes. So I'm not a perfumer myself in terms of by profession. I can't actually mix the ingredients. However, I understand the different fragrance families and the main fragrance notes. So I will get inspiration from somewhere. For example, I might smell something somewhere, I might be walking by somewhere, I might be traveling somewhere, and I usually get an inspiration. So what I would do is I'd pick up the phone to my perfumer, Christian, and I'll say, look, I want this fragrance, I want it to be like this, I want it to be like this, I want it to have these main ingredients or notes within it, but can you also be creative? So then they'll come back to us with 5 or 6 different sort of fragrances, and they'll say, this is this note, this variation, and then we'll go through that, and based on the samples, we'll then give the feedback to the perfumer and say, look, we want it to be a little bit more sweeter, or a little bit more woodier, or the projection is not that good, or it doesn't last that long. So we'd give that feedback and we'd try and improve it. So we'd have like 3 or 4 rounds of that improvement stage.
So you as a team think of the concept, and then the perfumer makes it, but then you give the direction in that process.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's go back across all of them. You have a quick smell of them all now, and then tell me which one's the best one. Go on.
Okay, first one. This was the fresh one. I still love this. Out of the shower.
Okay. Fresh out of the shower.
Yeah.
Number 2.
I might change that rating up to 8 now.
Okay. Cool. Good.
Lavender again is nice. 8. I wouldn't wear this every day for sure. It's something that's, to be honest, it's not really my type of fragrance, but I know there's a lot of people that do like this type of fragrance. This has got a very organic smell to it, like a green smell.
Okay.
Almost a bit like weed.
The good stuff, yeah?
Yeah, the good stuff. You smell it, what do you think? I'm sure you know it very well, but...
I never smelled that before.
I think these two have a bit of resemblance, you know?
Okay. What is your rating staying at 7?
Yes. Love this.
That's your star right there.
10.
10. It's gone to 10.
It's gone to 10. I think obviously once it settles down, you can smell the
of course, paper strips.
Yeah, exactly.
We both understand.
Initially, the alcohol evaporates, and then you can really smell the actual.
We both understand. It's not like the perfect test, but it's for a video, isn't it? So.
Yeah. Tobacco vanilla type fragrance again.
Is that Thomas Ford again, do you think?
Yeah, Thomas Ford. Yeah.
Is that Thomas Ford again? Do you think that's on that strip? Or just
Yeah.
there?
Yeah. Again, I can tell this is an expensive fragrance, but it's
Yeah.
not my type.
It's not your type. Still staying at 6.
So yeah, still saying a 6.
Okay. Cool. So your favorite is number 4 then?
Yes.
Here. Have you heard of this brand?
Alexandria fragrances. No, I haven't.
So you guys originated from your brother's trip to Egypt, and we got
Alexandria.
Alexandria. Yeah, that's
Is this your brand?
This, it could
I know you're
maybe,
Egyptian.
maybe in an alternative universe. Yeah, that would have been my brand.
Is that the first one?
This is number 4. That's,
Okay,
that's
okay.
10
I
out
need
of
to
10.
wear this then.
Yeah, bro, try it out. Yeah, let's see your spray technique. I'm gonna roast you now.
Nah, you can roast me.
I guess how much that is.
I can see it's extrait de parfum.
Yeah, extrait de parfum, so very high concentration, isn't it?
How many mil is it? 30 mil.
30 mLs, yeah.
£100?
Yeah, it should be, shouldn't it? No, 35.
Really?
Insane. That's literally. So the idea of these fragrance strips is that I'm showing you fragrances that I think people sleep on.
Yeah.
One of them is a Xerjoff, which you roasted, but don't worry about that. So people are gonna, maybe people, no, I still think that's a fantastic fragrance, but it's not your style, which is fine, yeah. You've rated that 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
People compliment me on that loads.
Yeah? So we're on the same page?
I think people will, yeah. But these are the fragrances I really love, yeah,
Okay.
Number 3, which you gave a 7 out of 10, is actually our fragrance. Yes, Mr. Fragrant. Which
nice.
hopefully people see on screen.
We've got to give that a 10 now. No, I'm joking.
Some money under the table. I'm kidding, guys. It's all natural reactions. So that's yeah.
Was that number 3?
That was number 3.
Let me smell that again, man.
The one you said had a bit of a weed. It's definitely got some green notes in there.
Yeah, no, so it does have that green element though, doesn't
yeah.
it?
But you said fresh, green.
Yeah.
We say it's like blue mixed with green as well as our concept for it.
Okay, so it just smells natural, you know?
Natural.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah, natural.
We made it a very natural smell.
Yeah, because you don't want it to be, too much, you know.
Yeah,
if you've got a natural scent on you, it smells quite.
Exactly.
Yeah,
as that kind of fragrance, the kind of fragrance that's very pleasant. But
exactly.
It's not a scream.
Because some fragrances, like after you wear it too many times, it does get a bit much, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. Great. So that concludes our Q&A with yourself.
Yes.
Do you have anything else you want to tell? We're approaching 100,000 subscribers now on
that's
YouTube.
amazing. You well done, man. Congrats to you.
Appreciate it, man.
No, I would say for anyone that hasn't tried Sunnamusk or that hasn't experienced any of our fragrances, I would welcome you all to come and try some of our beautiful fragrances, especially our Abid Ambre and Golden Dust. Those two are very popular.
Abid Ambre, Golden Dust. They're like the starter fragrances.
Yeah, they're the sort of ambassadors of the brand.
So
one is a very citrusy fresh, which is the Abid Ambre.
Yeah, that's like would you say that's like your take on the blue fragrance, but the Middle Eastern twist?
Yeah. You could say, because it does end with a woody sort of base as well.
Yeah.
But it's a really fresh fragrance. Although originally launched as a male fragrance, it's extremely popular amongst women as well. So we kind of say it's a unisex.
Yeah, fair enough.
And also Golden Dust, which is a sweet gourmand vanilla scent. And everyone loves a sweet scent, you know.
So if you like Baccarat Rouge, you go for Golden Dust, basically. Nice.
Yeah.
Amazing. So I'm going to leave a link in the description for Sunnamusk. Do you guys want me to leave Heaven on Earth, the one fragrance that you would choose for life, or you want me to just give you like a general?
Yeah, I'll say let's stick to Heaven on Earth.
Stick to Heaven on Earth.
Yeah.
There we go. Leave Heaven on Earth in the description below. Go and buy it, guys. If you like Middle Eastern perfumery, just go for it, basically. You're suggesting.
Definitely.
Fantastic. Anything else you want to tell the
No, I mean it's been a pleasure talking with you. Thank you for coming down to our office, and it's always nice to have a chat with you, man.
Of course, man. It's happy. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
This is the second time now, isn't it? Yeah. Appreciate it, man.
And hopefully we're gonna do that bespoke fragrance.
Yes.
These guys.
1,500 likes, and leave your comments down below, guys.
Yeah.
Create some crazy concoction.
Yeah. Concoction. Yeah.
Yeah, we're allowed to do that. Yeah. your perfumer won't be offended. What is this?
No.
Oh my days.
All right. Cool, man.
Fantastic, man. Awesome, man.
Sweet.
Thanks, guys. Bye.